Hi, how's everyone doing? Hope you're doing all right. You don't know, I'm Jeremy, and today I wanted to talk about a video that I came across with Tim Pool that was absolutely, totally ridiculous, nonsense trash. I don't know why he says these things or thinks these things and he doesn't look into it. I don't know. Whenever he's talking about fake news and the media, man, that I enjoy. Whenever he gets into conspiracy theories and policies, falls short of the mark pretty often with all of that stuff. So the video we're going to be talking about is... this is great. I hate these stupid commercials. It is called The Great Reset is Happening Now. Elites are buying up houses over cost so you can't own anything. Man, the assumptions in that statement alone. It's like, how do you know that the Great Reset is happening? Who do you have on the inside who's rich and powerful that can do this? The elites are buying up houses? Oh, they are? Well, how many of them? Why are they doing this? Can you be a little more specific? And it's because we can't own anything? Man, just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm older. I've been around the block a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I just have some damn common sense. Maybe a little bit of everything and some more. So, if you like my videos, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. I've got Patreon, subscribe, star. But we're going to go into how this is just totally, utterly nonsense. Because I like the truth. I want to have the truth. Whenever my mom was dying of cancer, I didn't care who had the cure. I didn't care at all. And it's just, as I've gotten older, it seems like there's just more and more that I notice of people lying. I think the majority of it is intentional. And it's because whenever you watch like CNN, they're giving you fake news. And so it's not your fault that they're not doing their job. And so you've got fake news. I know how to clean this up a lot. But this video, he's talking about how he's found some homes somewhere. What is this website? Business Insider. At least three U.S. homes have currently sold for more than $1 million over asking price. It's the latest sign that the housing market has gone completely off the rails. Wrong. This is dumb. We're going to listen a little bit to Tim Pool. We're not going to listen to all of it. I'll have some links in the description below to some of this stuff. This video will be one of them. There's a couple other videos. But yeah, let's listen to Tim.
3 U.S. homes have recently sold for more than $1 million over at...
How can you just be so oblivious to things? This is just...
asking price. It's the latest sign the housing market has gone completely off the rails. It is the latest...
No, so to me, some of the first things that I think of is, okay, well, where is this house exactly? You need to give me some details. We're going to get into this with a couple of videos about lifestyles of the rich and famous, of billionaires. And you're going to go, oh, okay, yeah. Because if you don't understand the content, which this does not give at all, yeah, shut up.
Sign that our economy is on the verge of imploding.
And also, one of the other things that I think of is, yes, this is happening, if this is taken at face value, that some kind of regular house was bought for $1 million over asking price, the thing that I think of is COVID. I live in Texas, and I know that the housing market is absolutely booming right now where I live, and I tell you what, you're just living like a fat cat. If you have rental properties, or if you're a builder and you're building properties, it's just... I have a friend who's moving because of situations with his job, and He's only lived there for 2 years. And in that 2-year period, his house has gone up. He's able to sell it for over $30,000 more than what he bought it for in just 2 years. It's insane. That's great. It's kind of not so good though, because he's moving from one part of Texas to the other. So he's moving to a pretty big place there, and so it's going to be the same thing. So he's going to really kind of break even. Well, no, he was actually talking about building a place too. That would probably be the better thing to do. So then that way you can get what you want. It should be for a lower cost too. You know, it kind of depends on how busy builders are, I guess, though too. So, but if you know how to do the work and you can do a lot of it yourself, that's where you'll really come out ahead.
And it is the latest sign that, my friends, the Great Reset is very real.
No, it's not. It points to nothing. 3? Are you kidding me? 3? So we're going to have to take a look at this before we go any. Here is from info, please. Right, home, United States, U.S. Census data, U.S. housing statistics. So total housing units, 115 million housing units. One unit detached and attached. I don't know what that means. Maybe you're talking about condos or something where they're all attached to each other. 2 units, that would be, I would assume, duplexes, and then triplexes, fourplexes, 5 to 9 units, 10 to 19, 20 or more. So you're like apartments is what all this is. And then mobile homes, and I don't know why they have boats and RVs. I guess you can live in your RV and your van and all that stuff too, I guess. But it's a small number. So let's go ahead and do some math. And we're going to round this down. We're going to count mobile homes, RVs, and all this. And so we're going to round. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put this up. Wrong video capture device. There we go. So right above me here, we've got a calculator from the computer. And let's do that. 100 million units. The 115 million, like I said, we're going to round down, and let's say we're going to spend $1 million on each unit. That's hundreds, that's thousands, that's millions, that's billions, that's trillions. It's going to cost you $100 trillion to build all of these structures. But you know what? That's not what the article even says. It's not saying that they were bought for $1 million. It was $1 million over whatever the asking pricing was. So if it was $10 million, did they pay $11 million? And it's like, well, yeah, perhaps so. Who would do such a thing, you might ask? Let me answer that for you. All right, so we don't need this calculator here. This video is titled Luxury Lifestyles of Billionaires. This HD 2020, the video though was put out in 2016, so I've seen this a couple of times before because it's just what. So we're going to play little snippets of it. I'll have a link in the description down below, so if you want to watch it in its entirety, by all means.
Wealth now doesn't mean 40, 50, 60 million. It means in the billions.
Generation hyper-rich has arrived.
Hyper-rich. You know what this is? This is probably an elevator inside a plane. This is how ridiculous this is.
It's kind of blingy and more out there than it used to be. It's like you've got a 300-foot yacht, oh, but he's got a 500-foot yacht. Now you've got status anxiety.
You have the old money versus the new money. The individuals spending here, there, and everywhere on everything bling and everything showy.
Everything bling and everything showy. Like these gold-plated cars. These Lamborghinis, these BMWs. It's just like, no, get the hell out of here. This is it. Where's that one? Phone cases. The number one expensive phone case that I found off of this, therichest.com, Dragon and Spider case from Anita, I guess that's the name of the designer. The most expensive iPhone case in the world goes to the Spider and Dragon case from whoever that person is, which can be yours for $880,000. So, I mean, that's not too shy from being $1 million for a damn phone case. This case is made out of 18-karat white golded and embedded with real diamonds for a total weight of 32 carats. The attached dragon that clings might make it... anyways, I don't care. But yeah, whenever it's white gold and diamonds all over, yes, it's expensive. This is what they're talking about.
Billionaires are the new celebrity.
And whenever you're a billionaire, that's pocket change, fool. What are you talking about?
And just like celebrities, many new money billionaires are not afraid to be seen to be extravagant, and they want grand, iconic toys that scream.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna show quite a bit where they're talking about the numbers, how expensive this stuff is.
Check me out.
Seems they've checked a box which says yacht or plane or stud farm or mini stately home.
If they have no background of being rich or not the etiquette or the finesse, I think it can become very, very stressful.
Well, there's a disorder now that they coined. It's called acquired situational narcissism.
Acquired situation narcissism. I think part of the problem that some of these people have is that they're talking about a group of people that they completely cannot relate to. And that's exactly what Tim Pool is doing. He has no idea whatsoever what it's like to be filthy, stinking rich. Neither do I. All I have are these little glimpses with these videos and these people talking, and that's about it. But unless if you have the IQ of a rock, then this should be enough for you to be able to get an example of kind of like what the hell's going on. Because you don't have to be like a nuclear physicist to be able to understand kind of the basics of this. And it's because they're still just people. Do you think that these people are narcissistic because of money? You think they have some kind of weird extra hyper narcissism along with it, just not normal narcissism that we might kind of think of, that it's like massively, insanely blown up because of their wealth? Duh. It's like, yes, obviously. Can we completely, fully understand it? Probably not. But can we understand the basic concept? Yes.
Middle class people, just like you and me, who become billionaires overnight. They're becoming, obscenely vain and drunk on their own self-importance.
They want to show that they belong. So that's when people start competing amongst, who's got their children at the best schools, who's got the more expensive handbags, who's got the prettier wife, who's got the better looking children, which is an awful thing to say.
And who, of course, has got the most outrageous gin palace on the Med. This is the world of billionaire toys.
So I'm going to fast forward to some of the number stuff. So let's go over how much yachts are.
And we have
the rich, the super rich, and the ultra rich.
To join this ultra-exclusive club, you'd better have plenty of the folding stuff.
To be able to purchase a yacht, you've got to have at least between 30 and 60 million pounds. So that's your first cost, which is obviously enormous. And then you're more than likely, if you're
30 to 60 million pounds. So if it was converted over to dollars, it's more because you have more purchasing power with British pounds than you do with American currency. So in other words, whenever you go to the exchange rate, it's going to take you like $1.50 to get 1 pound. Their purchasing power is stronger. So, is it purchasing pounds or are they using euros still? Because the euros is new. I was born back before the EU and they had British pounds, but they've gotten out of it, and so I don't know what they're using today.
you're that type of person who can afford to buy a yacht, you'll want it refurbished as well. So that's looking at least another probably 4 or 5 million pounds, if not.
Okay, so she's talking in pounds. So you want it refurbished, another 4 to 5 million pounds. If you want to know more about this lunacy, you can. There are videos where they show London, where it's really nice neighborhoods, and they're being refurbished. That they buy these things. In London, they have a law that you cannot build buildings more than like a couple stories high. Not with, I guess not with all. I mean, they have large buildings, but whenever you're in a residential area, it's like 2, 3, 4 stories or something like that. And then after that, you can't go any further. You can only go so far high up into the skyline. And what have they done to compensate for this? They dig down. And so they'll have like 4, 5, 6 basements underneath the thing. In fact, I'll pull this up just to show. All right, that didn't take too long to find one. I just found it here on the spot. And it's because, yeah, people watch this stuff. It's interesting. And, I mean, if it's going on, why not report on it? So this video is called Millionaire Basement Wars. It's a BBC documentary from 2015.
This is the central hallway of the basement, and you can look through this glass screen into the pool.
The super rich are maximising property value in the heart of London as never before.
Because see, however high these buildings are, they can't build any higher. Commercial zones and industrial zones, different, but with residential zones, no, you have a limit as to how high you can go.
One person's large is another person's not large enough.
But they're not building up, they're digging down, creating mega basements.
The base of the house, which is the area that you see down there, is probably one of the deepest basements in this particular location.
That's nuts.
Street. 3 or 4 are all being done at once. And then as soon as one finished, then the next one starts up.
Down here we've got the lower ground floor. It looks like an Alcatraz prison.
People who are living here are multinational who probably got a house like this in 2 or 3 other countries.
These $1 million houses in other countries. And you know what's messed up? Just because you're rich, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to keep this money. I don't know if it's this one or another one, but they've talked about how, yeah, these people will just stop building and just leave it all there and they can't find them. And it's because they'll talk about how these people are global citizens. And it's because they travel all around the world. That they don't have like a home like a normal person does. They'll say it in all of these things where, yeah, they'll spend all of this money, millions of dollars, buying the property, millions of dollars fixing it up, tens of thousands of dollars just to staff it, and they'll be there for like 2 weeks out of the year. And you know where they're spending the rest of their time? Well, they'll spend several weeks just flying around. So that's why they'll have these big fancy planes. They'll spend several weeks out of the year on their yachts. They'll spend a couple of weeks in London, a couple of weeks in Paris, a couple of weeks in New York, a couple of weeks in Hong Kong. They've got these houses all over the place.
They're hardly ever there, are they?
No, this is the Russians.
Oh, they're Russians, are they?
In the last 10 years, an estimated 2,000 new basements have been dug in central London, removing 3 million tonnes of soil.
If this were happening in other places in the country, they would serve ASBOs on people for the amount of noise and disruption.
People find they're living in what looks like part of strip mining in Kazakhstan.
And you know these people who are complaining? These are the neighbors. And you know who these neighbors are? They're millionaires. And they can't do anything because these new people are billionaires. Ah.
But with fortunes to be made by digging down, the basement building boom looks here to stay.
My drains are blocked and I'm flooded as a result of concrete.
And you would think with all this money that all these people have, you know, especially these people who have billions and they're just doing all of this work, that they would just be nice to their neighbors and be like, oh, my construction flooded your basement and clogged up your drains. No problem. I got plenty of money. I will have my people come on in and redo all of this for you. I mean, what is it? It's just chump change. It's chump change. So anyways, back to the yachts.
I got more than that.
So this is the same thing with the yachts that they were doing there with these homes. They were buying the homes, then they completely demolished them, and they refurbished the stupid things. And this happens constantly because can't have that. That's tacky, or that's not my style, or whatever. It's because they have money. What do they care?
Running costs.
I deal a little bit with construction and with housing, and this happens where these construction workers, for example, will come in, destroy something all completely nice and new, and then they will take all that stuff because there's nothing wrong with it at all. And they make out like bandits with this stuff because they get paid really well, and then they get all the scraps left behind too from the demolishing of the old, and also with the excess that they purchased. And it can happen because they bought it and then they ended up changing their mind and they don't want it, and it's like, just get rid of it. We don't want the hassle with it. Just take it. They just
to fund your own yacht. They really do cost astronomical amounts of money.
Running costs are the old hidden nemesis of every boat owner.
There's an old adage that, you know, you should rent anything that flies, floats and fornicates.
It costs a fornicating amount of money just to keep your tub in the water, and then you've got to fill her up.
We use about 1,500 liters of fuel an hour.
1,500 liters of fuel an hour. Let's hear that again for this stupid thing. I'll put it on the closed captions.
We use about 1,500 liters of fuel.
Oh, sorry. 1,500 liters of fuel an hour.
An hour. And we have a capacity of about 7 hours of fuel.
And it can only hold 7 hours worth of fuel. Oh.
So every time we go in the gas station, we have to go about 40,000 euros down.
40,000 euros to fill it up. I don't even know what size this one is. It's not going to be the largest. It's not going to be the largest.
40,000 euros every 7 hours. It's a rude awakening to even the most gung-ho of new money billionaires.
It's the same thing with these mansions that they buy. They just don't buy them and let them collect dust. They buy these stupid things and then they fill them up with all of these people who they cook, they clean, they do everything, lawn care, all of it. And then they'll pay tens of thousands of dollars each year for one place for the staff, even though they're only there for 2 weeks out of the year. Ridiculous. Listen to this ridiculousness. So now we're talking about being able to build a yacht, because you're too rich to buy something used. You got to have brand new, all custom built.
We had one client's wife who was wondering whether we'd keep a pony on a boat for her daughter. The idea was to have an exercising turntable at the back of the yacht on the aft deck. But they weren't embarrassed to ask the question. They thought it was a reasonable question to invite.
Completely reasonable to ask. Sure, why not? What are you talking about? Of course. Isn't that standard on yachts? What are you talking about? Oh, want to show this one guy's comment too. It's like, yeah.
Well, I think it's fair to say they live in a totally different world.
It's fair to say that they live in a totally different world. Yep. Let him finish.
Are increasingly living in a bubble.
I suppose the idea.
Living in a bubble. You know why? Because they don't have to engage with normal people like us. There are so many of these people, so many who are millionaires and billionaires, you know, because even if you have like $900 million, it's still not a billionaire, but it's wow. How many... How many billionaires? According to Forbes, as of March 18, 2020, there are 2,095 billionaires in the world. The total net worth of the world's billionaires is 8 trillion. 700 billion less than the previous year. So it's gone down. All right, so let's go and look into this a little bit more. The top 10 most expensive homes in America. Now, I'm not going to go over all these. I'm just going to kind of glance through these here. What's the most expensive home in America? A whopping 190 million, far and away the most expensive place out there on the open market in recent history. So I don't know if it can't be that low in America. I mean, I guess maybe, but so Copper Beach Farms in Greenwich, Connecticut. Property blew the last most expensive home out of the water. Okay, so I guess 190 million here in the U.S. Its predecessor was, and the top ranking was Crispy Hicks Estate in Dallas, which listed for 135 million, which it went up for sale in January. Okay. There are a few others that top 100 million to a meager 75 million. Oh, pish posh. So here is the property, the Copper Beach Farms, aka the 190 million here. I'm sure it's all of this. It's everything that you see. This is not another place. This is probably the guest quarters or the servants' quarters over here. It's the whole thing. A 1,800 foot driveway winds through all that. And you're not just paying for the house, you're paying for the property. There's a 75-foot long heated pool, spa, grass tennis court, stone carriage house, clock tower, cottage, and greenhouses. And the mile of shoreline and 2 islands. Get the hell out of here, man. Here's the penthouse at the Perry Hotel. Most expensive city apartment, 125 million. And then it's going to go into detail about that. The home at Big Homer's Pond isn't terribly impressive. It's got 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, over 5,600 square feet. It has a guest house too, a pool, but not too flashy. 118 million. Oh, look at this place. The legendary Beverly House. Oh, just a little bit of work has been done on the inside there. Look at all that woodwork there. It's like, oh man. And look at the ceilings up there. Archways all over the place. The Beverly House, balconies, carved ceilings, wood panels, hand-carved woodworking, and fireplaces, waterfalls that flow into the pool, Vienna columns and floor-to-ceiling bookshelves in the library. Has a gym, spa, massage room, double master suites, formal dining room, breakfast room, an Art Deco nightclub, and media center, the outdoor terrace that can accommodate up to 400 people for sit-down dining. Not just standing up, not being packed in, for sit-down dining. Lighting for tennis courts that come with an indoor bar and an 8-car garage and a guest house. It's only getting started. Estate and lands of the Guin. $100 million estate, 74 acres. Yeah, man. $100 million penthouse. Anyways, you get the gist of it. And so there's going to be this great reset. So how are you going to do this? Here is celebrity net worth. That M0 is money, straight up cash in the world. 5 to 6 trillion in dollars in coins. M1, I think that is electric currency. 25 trillion. M2 is CDs, money markets accounts. 60 trillion there. M3, 75 trillion. And so what's the total value of the earth? So right here, the value of the fresh water alone is $73 trillion. $73 trillion. Can you buy the earth? In fact, according to one astrophysicist who came up with this calculation for valuing planets, Earth is worth a bank-breaking $5 quadrillion. Now, we're talking about the entire planet. Just the planet itself. All the minerals, all the iron, copper, gold, all that stuff, the water. This is not talking about your cars, your houses, and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, good luck. So let's go back to this video a little bit. We're going to go over a few numbers and a few things that they buy, and then we'll wrap it up here. Here we go. I like all these little statements throughout the entire thing.
No one needs a yacht.
No one needs it.
It's the very last thing you need, actually.
If you want to see your money actually just vanishing into thin air, you buy a yacht.
Just have it vanish. Say goodbye. Yachts just don't do nothing. They don't go up in value. I mean, who's going to buy these things after they're done with them? It's like, what, another rich person? Why would they do that? They're just going to build their own. These things just tank in value. And they talk about this too. Like, there's a portion in this where they talk about buying cars. And one kid's talking about, yeah, it cost him like $100,000. It's probably worth $50,000 now. But so what? He didn't care. All right, so how much to buy or to build a yacht?
On average now we talk about kind of €1 million a metre.
Yes, that is indeed around 66 million euros just for the build.
The whole of the outside is hand sanded.
Oh, and then they just go on to the ridiculousness that they do. One of the guys was talking about how he thought of these kind of as modern day cathedrals. Because back then, that's where you took all of these highly skilled craftsmen and they built these wonderful, beautiful structures. So where are these craftsmen today? Well, apparently quite a few of them are building these yachts. And it's like, yes, absolutely. Oh, let's get into a few more numbers here.
The paint job alone for that
boat is
going to be €2-3 million.
2 to 3 million.
For the outside. For the interior design, he'll spend many millions more to furnish his fantasy.
They want the latest gadget, what they've had, but they want the things out in films. They want that old expression, the James Bond factor. They want all those sort of
course.
wow things.
Of course.
Unreal life, very real.
So the big TV
Obviously.
there,
Duh.
to have everybody on the big long sofa watching a movie. You can do it like that.
Moving on. And then it's just constantly filled with these statements about showing off and this narcissism.
For every owner, a weapon of show off.
They want their yacht to be the biggest. And it causes them genuine pain when some other dude's yacht comes in and it's bigger than theirs. They feel they've failed, even though...
Isn't that ridiculous? But that makes sense, right? How do you get to be filthy, stinking rich? I mean, it's not because you just sit around and it just falls out the sky. It's not like gold just comes out your butt. You know, you have to work. They have to have this insane competitiveness where I must win and win constantly and all the time and do nothing else but win. And you know what? That comes at a very huge, steep price. These people don't have friends. They talk about it too in this, how they have these huge parties and they're filled with their own personal staff. Because they don't have friends. They're Looney Tunes. It's like their wife and their children don't know them. And if they don't like their wife, she's got too old. Time for a new one. Ugh! Just ridiculous. Moving on. So we're going to skip the rest of the yacht stuff, and we're going to move on to your private plane.
And the big thing now is you have your own Airbus with a bedroom, with showers, with a...
Oh, excuse me. Not plane. Airbus. The huge jumbo planes.
Gymnasium, and probably there's probably a golf course in it now.
To the outside world, the billionaire lifestyle is one of endless pleasure. They have yachts, and they have private jets. But flying toys, like all fabulous playthings, are only for the deepest of pockets.
Price could be anywhere from $3 million to $100 million. Have operating costs that run anywhere from about $1 million a year to about $5 million a year, depending on the size and how much you use the airplane.
Millions and millions. Millions just to fly it, own it, and operate it. Yeah, duh. What rock have you been living under, peasant? Anyways, moving on. Oh, we got to put in this little bit about stress here.
Well, from what I can tell from my several experience on private jets was that mostly it creates an enormous amount of stress. I was once flying back from Czechoslovakia and I was offered a lift by this billionaire who had his plane to himself.
Yeah, anyways. Stress for all these people. So, let's listen to this guy here who builds these big jets, planes, buses, flying buses for these people here.
But the real kicker is his billionaire-friendly mega app, the
Billionaire-friendly mega app.
Millionometer.
The Millionometer.
I'd like to stay around, call it 10 to 15. Super successful people.
He would like to stay around just 10 to 15 million. Oh, yeah, I mean...
Super wealthy people, super powerful people. There's one thing they love to do is talk about what they do and who they are. And, if you ask them the right leading questions, they just pour it out.
Oh, these narcissist people like to talk about themselves and what they do? Who would have figured that? If you really want to... If you have a cell phone cover and it's decked out with white gold and platinum and diamonds, and it's like, how do I get mine worth, $880,000 to sell? It's the story that you attach to it. But it's because they don't give a damn about the gold and the diamonds and all that stuff. It's like they just have that. I mean, they piss that, and they literally do. Back with the yacht stuff, they were talking about how some of this stuff has gold in it, and they just eat it, little flakes of gold, and it's in the wrapping, and so they're always kind of ingesting a little bit of gold. So some of these people literally are probably pissing some gold. But it's a story that you can't buy. It's a story that's unique, and so it's like, what's the story with this? Oh, well, this is a master craftsman, and they worked on it for ages in their private studio, and this was crafted with blood diamonds from Africa, where many people lost their lives. And it's like, yeah, they'll go nuts over that because they don't buy something that comes out of a factory that's been mass produced. It's all custom made. It's these unique stories, one of a kind stuff. Yeah. Anyways, we'll do I don't know, about maybe 3 more of these numbers things on how much they're spending. All right, so let's listen to numbers, but a different set of numbers here. This isn't money related, but people.
So,
by the time you have 600 people on your payroll who travel with you because you can't go anywhere without 2 personal chefs and 6 PAs and your financial manager and your tax consultant, so then you need a Boeing, you need an Airbus. And the big thing now is you have your own Airbus with a bedroom, with showers, with a gymnasium, and probably there's probably a golf course in it now.
Let's go.
Of course.
The dining room of the Airbus or the conference room, and it actually extends even further to the bedroom of the airplane.
No more, Steve, no more.
Yeah, you don't want to upgrade it?
Of course. I mean, yes, because it's like I heard whenever Trump was first going for president there, or I guess shortly after he became president, he's got like 500 businesses. It's like, yes, there's not one thing that these people are doing that makes them billionaires. No, they've got like a ton of things, and they don't do all of this stuff. They have a whole team of people to help them manage all this stuff. They don't know all this crap, not even close. But they hire professionals to do it. And this is why I think Trump was actually, whenever it came to the economy and some of this stuff, he was really good with this. Because these people learn, I don't know everything, I'm not going to come close to knowing everything, and they surround themselves with experts. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get fired. I mean, that's the whole premise of, what was that show, The Apprentice? That was everything, that was the premise of it, is that you either do well or you're fired. And it's like, well, obviously, I mean, how much money do you think that they're paying them? There was one of these where I saw where they hired people just to have them because it's like, yeah, this is my crew. You know, these were the people that they hung out with. And not only that, but my crew's better than your crew. So not only am I better than you, but my crew is better than your crew. I pay them more, I give them more, just all the way around because I'm better than you, and so are my people. It's, ridiculous. So back to the numbers here. We'll go through about maybe two more. So let's take a quick little look at. So now this was in 2016. This title might have been squashed since then, but this is the most expensive plane.
But in 2007 there was a new Sultan of Bling, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud. His Airbus A380
Say that 5 times fast. I can't even say it once.
is estimated
Did sound kind of cool.
to have cost over $500 million once his taste had been accounted for. But soon, of course, there will be one still better.
I think if someone developed
$500 million, over $500 million for that stinking Airbus. It's like, yeah, of course. I'm going to show them. They had a lineup. I forgot who the previous guy was, but the one before that, who had the title for a while, Trump. Go figure. I didn't know he was that rich. I mean, because the Sultan, Prince Sultan there. I mean, that guy was what, from Saudi Arabia, and they've got all that oil money. It's like, ugh. So we'll see about one more. No, I think I'm going to do two more because this one's going to be real short. So just the ridiculous spending and not caring about it.
Brand new, it was just over 100 grand, but now it's probably about half that.
Oh, okay. So real fast, we'll go to one. All right, this one's going to be a little bit longer, but man.
For Paul, when it comes to hoarding rich list runarounds, well, more
Ferrari Enzo
is more.
So this is my Lamborghini, my Aventador, Ferrari 360.
So just so that we're aware, that everyone is clear with this, this is not his house. This is his garage, which is underneath his property, and then inside of it, he has lifts so he can lift his car up so he can put another car underneath it. And this isn't like, we're not talking Kias here. Lamborghinis.
Is even more.
Cars that are in most collections, often they're locked away, wrapped up in cotton wool, people don't get to see them, they don't get driven, they literally just sit in someone's...
Look at this! He's got 2 rows, a row back here in the back, and then he's got a row up here in the front.
Collection, gathering dust, waiting for the day when that person can double or triple or quadruple their investment.
But Paul has succumbed to another affliction that can ensnare the super-rich car collector.
I think this is underneath this property. It may not be. That might be another one that I was thinking of.
My wife's California. This is a 360 Challenge Stradale.
But here's the problem. At which point does a quirky, horribly expensive passion turn a wealthy, sane man into a full-blown petrol head case?
This is volcano red, pearlescent orange, metallic yellow. I'm not afraid of yellow on a car.
Is it this point?
Metallic silver.
And I needed to have a black one.
How about now?
16N SLS Spiker.
Paul is addicted to buying supercars. It's as simple as that.
It's just his garage. It's not a museum. It's not open to the public. It's his garage. And you know what? It looks spotless in there. He doesn't clean it. You think with all these cars that he can't afford somebody to come in and clean all this stuff? It's like...
At least his wife Selena has a good grip on his mounting obsession.
Surely you don't need that many cars. You don't need that many shoes, you don't need that many handbags, you don't need a lot of things in life. But it is our passion, and we love to have the amount of cars we have.
Okay, so good place to stop right there. Because you know what? He's not the only one. It's like, what, you think that you get all this money and all these bad habits are just gone with these people? Do you not think that they have problems hoarding? It's like this guy obviously has a clear problem with hoarding cars. And not just cheap ones, I mean expensive ones. It's like, yes, they're going to hoard, they're going to collect. They have the same problems that everyone else has. You know why? Because they're still just people. They have problems with alcoholism. They have problems with their friends and family and personal relationships and their marriages. And they can still go broke. It still happens. It happens pretty often with celebrities. They're real bad about it. They'll get all of this money and they'll just squander it and just blow it away. You think this... Where this will happen the most with these people is whenever they pass away and then their money gets divided up between their friends and family members, especially their kids, and they don't know what the hell it was that their parents did, how they got all this money. They have no clue. And it just starts to go down and down and down. It doesn't maintain. So, anyways, yeah, I just, this whole thing with Tim Pool and that this great reset is coming, it's like, no, it absolutely is not. To buy up all the houses, you know, so we've seen these people who are buying up houses in London, they fix them up and they do all this stuff. It's not just these billionaires, it's millionaires and everything else in between. So did they pay $1 million more? It's like, well, yeah, you know, if the house was $20 million and they paid $21 million to them, so what? Who cares? It didn't go into any of that stuff. Well, actually, maybe it did. I didn't watch the whole video. I kind of watched it in the background as I was doing some other stuff, and it's like, yeah, I've got an answer for you there, pal. But it's like, if you're watching his videos and you're getting all upset and worried about, oh, a great reset, it's like, no, absolutely not. 3, are you kidding me? I don't give a damn what else that boy has to say. It's like, no, it is, that was just housing in America. You know what, you think that they're going to give up all their other houses in London and Paris and all this stuff to be able to do this? I mean, if to do the Great Reset, you would have to implement that worldwide. Well, we're just, or you would have to cut off your borders from America to the rest of the world. Who's going to do that? You think these people are going to do it? Man, it's why you hear all this crap about global citizens, because that's what these fools are. They have no loyalties to any nations because they're in all of them. So, I hope you liked this video. If you did and you understand all this stuff, and I hope you felt a little easier with things, you know, especially if you're taking Tim Pool's stuff seriously. I mean, whenever it comes to the news and stuff, it's like spot on. But whenever it's about anything else, it's like, yeah, you're losing me, pal. So, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe, become a member. That helps me out a lot. I've got Patreon and Subscribe Star, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.